Yeah,
we are looking at that.
Yeah, when we look at that in that way, actually, we can say we are not yet independent because arguments have always been given forward by scholars that we only have change of colors on who came into leadership. But in terms of what do we represent as a country, we have just represented interests of elites, the minority of the people of our population. That is the interest that we are always protecting. We are crying today loudly. I'm not saying there is anything wrong if we castigate what happened with the Northlands. We have to castigate as a country. But suppose it was my farm. Will it may it go to a direction that none of us will be able to change? For example, today President Ruto, I'm sure he will have a lot of challenges convincing his team that he wants to talk to Raila Odinga. He will have a lot of problems because he is a victim of the handshake himself. So his team will not want them to be left behind because of the victim mentality now that has developed within the political class. They are eating it, they don't have competition in the other side, Raila Odinga also is also a slave of his own clique because he have had experience where he sneaked to Harambee House, have a handshake with the former president, and walked through the corridors of Harambee House and took a picture. So the people who are with him did not know what had happened. They did not get what. So those people will not want distrust. Exactly. So those people will not want him to. They will want to let him go. So both of them are hostages. The reason why we are saying the only person now that we are looking at as a country is the president. And I hope the president will be as bold as he was when he was actually elected. Yes. When he was elected, immediately was elected, he made a telephone call to Raila Odinga, which was something very good. I wish he will do the same now. I hope he will land in the country and make the similar call he made to Raila Odinga and tell him, my elder brother, can we have a cup of tea? And try to discuss these issues and isolate what we can do now and what we can actually let Kenyans deliberate. Right. I think we are going to heal this problem. But if we are looking at the international, our friends, there is no free lunch. You become a captive of wherever who comes to intervene. Right. Nobody will actually come here for free. So we have to be careful on where we want to go as a country because there is nothing for free.
You touched on something very interesting as you were winding up on the issue of having, if it appears that we were in a sort of difficult position, we had the international community that is coming up. The other day, Raila Odinga mentioned that it was unfair that despite whatever was happening in the country, the international community was quiet. And just as we had from the US delegation that is here and the AU Commission as well, which made a statement, yesterday he said, look, we do not want any interference from the international community. And I'm going to read out a tweet. So I don't know where you stand on this matter.
I will tell you where they stand.
PLO Lumumba tweeted about a few minutes ago, said, then, and he was quoting the Taifa Leo newspaper, which said, Mjumbe wa handisheki atua Kenya, which was attributed to the senator from the US. And he said, then we wonder why the white man has contempt for Africans. We should solve our issues without being cajoled by foreigners. But are we able to solve our own issues?
Yeah, I think the problem we have is actually the level of mistrust. The only institution that was left some few months ago being trusted was the religious sector. Unfortunately, soon after the president was sworn in, there was another survey that was done to try to gauge who does the Kenyan trust. The trust of the religious leaders actually came down. It was not where it was before elections. And that means, and we want to attribute to what Professor earlier discussed about, talked about the use of religious institutions for political interests. And now that when we have religious leaders talking, everyone else is telling us, please allow us to deal with these issues.
We'll deal with our own matters.
Forget about these issues. We are going to deal with it. So who then do we expect as a country to come and mediate on our issues? It is only ourselves. So we need to start building that trust. And again, we are going to push it to the president. That is the only person now who can be able to do it.